have actually misrepresented Shah Waliullah Dehlawi. Shah Waliullah Dehlawi categorically stated in many of his different works that, praying to the dead, going to qubur. For example, I'll quote one of his statements, Al Khair al Kathir, from his book Al Khair al Kathir. Realize that asking needs from the dead while recognizing that this is a means to having it fulfilled is kufr. It must be avoided. It's kufr. Okay. And the list goes on. In Tafhimat al-Ilahiyya, he also states, all who go to the city of Ajmer or the grave of Salar Masood or anything similar to them for the purpose of a need, he requests from them, he has committed a sin graver than murder and adultery. He has no likeness but the likeness of one who worships creatures, or the likeness of those who would call Lat and Uzza. Shah Waliullah Dehlawi, you just slandered him.
Why don't you finish the quote?
Yeah, continue. You want me to finish the quote?
Yeah.
Although we do not make explicit takfir of an individual due to the absence of a text from the... Wait. Let me finish the quote. He has said it is like worshipping Lat and Uzza. He's not talking about the hukam. He's talking about what the act is. The act is like worshipping Lat and Uzza. What do you mean, ho? I can do ho as well, but let me finish the quote. Okay. Although we do not make explicit takfir of an individual due to the absence of a text from the lawgiver on the specific matter, and thus ta'wil being possible, everyone who specifies life in the deceased and requests need from him, his heart is sinful. So what Shah Waliullah is talking about here is that tafsil is needed. You need to ask the person, is this tawassul? Is this istaghatha? But generally he's saying going to the dead, asking them. And you cannot ignore his statement. It's like worshipping Lat and Uzza. Who were worshipping Lat and Uzza? The mushrikeen, the kuffar. Okay. So you are slandering Shah Waliullah, not knowing what he wrote. I have his books here. I have his quotes here in front of me. So, and I can go on. He wrote another book called Al-Balagh al-Mubin. I don't think you have read it. I have read the book. He wrote entire... Sorry. Yeah. Thank you. He has written an entire book on this topic, Brother Daniel. Okay. Why going to the graves asking the dead for help is shirk. Al-Balagh al-Mubin. Read the book, inshallah, and you'll find some amazing quotes there as well. In the same book, Tafhimat al-Ilahiyya, okay, he writes, further, the definition of shirk with Allah in worship is to glorify other than Allah, seeking thereby to get near to Allah and salvation in the next life. Amongst the greatest illnesses of this time of ours is their worship of their shuyukh, whether living or of their graves when dead. The ignorant copy the disbelievers of India in worshipping their idols in their practices. The definition of shirk with Allah in seeking help is to seek one's need from another while believing he has the power to accomplish it by applying a powerful will. Like curing the sick, giving life and death, giving provision, and creating a child, and other things that are included within the names of Allah. The definition of shirk with Allah in calling out is to mention other than Allah, Jesus, Ya Isa, Ya Ibn Maryam, Ya Ibn Maryam. Okay, for example, while believing this action of his will benefit him in the afterlife or in coming closer to Allah, just as they mention their shuyukh when waking up in morning. Tafhimatul Ilahiyya, Shah Waliullah Dehlawi. Prophet made it very clear that in Sharia it only means an act of ibadah for Allah. Ad-du'a huwa al-ibadah. I cannot put it more clearly. And then you say making dua to Jesus Christ, which is worshipping Jesus Christ, according to the Prophet ﷺ, you're not sure if it's shirk. This is going against basic tawheed. And this is exactly what Shah Waliullah is saying. Let me read him again. And here, you said, show me where Shah Waliullah said this is kufr or this is shirk, like the shirk of kuffar. Okay, now.
Shirk that takes you outside of Islam. That's the question.
Brilliant. Let's go. Further, the definition of shirk with Allah in worship is to glorify other than Allah, seeking thereby to get near to Allah and salvation in the next life. Amongst the greatest illnesses of this time of ours is their worship of their shuyukh, whether living or of their graves when dead. The ignorant copy the disbelievers of India in worshipping their idols in their practices. They copy the worshippers of idols of India, mushrikeen. So these people are copying the mushrikeen of India, who are idol worshippers. And the definition of shirk with Allah in seeking help is to seek one's need from another while believing he has the power to accomplish it by applying a powerful will, like curing the sick, giving life and death. Exactly what you said in your clip. You said this person who believes that Jesus is God and he wants him to heal his leprosy. Then you go on later on. You go later on saying that now he doesn't believe he's God. He is now a prophet, a wali, but the dua is the same. You keep saying dua is the same. Heal my sickness, heal my leprosy, heal my illness. And what does Shah Waliullah say? This is the very definition of shirk. And this shirk is like the shirk of it's like the shirk of the disbelievers of India, idol worshippers. Allahu Akbar. So I'm saying it's very simple that the Prophet ﷺ used the word dua for ibadah. You were using it in the same sense because you talked about someone praying to Jesus for healing leprosy and other things, and believing at the same time that he was God. But then this person becomes a Muslim and adopts a view that Jesus is a prophet of Allah, he's a wali of Allah, but the action is the same. You make it very clear. Okay, you say istaghatha and then you bring it down to dua specifically, that this is one of the modalities of istaghatha, which is dua, and we know dua is ibadah. It's very simple, Brother Daniel, for you to say now that yes, I agree, dua is ibadah, because you cannot disagree. The Prophet said it is ibadah, and ibadah is only for Allah. And if it's only for Allah, then ibadah to anyone else is major shirk that takes you out of Islam, because this is what iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in means, and this is what amazingly Shah Waliullah also uses this ayah of the Quran in his book Hujjatullah al-Baligha, okay, in his famous magnum opus, okay, called Hujjatullah al-Baligha. In this book, he also, again, I quote, this concept, shirk, has various embodiments and forms, and the divine law only discusses embodiments and forms of it which the people practice with the intention of shirk, so that they become anticipated sources of shirk and customarily inseparable from it. This is similar to the practice of the divine law in establishing the causes that thank you, sorry, there's tea for me, very kind of my family. Okay, so so I'm going to continue. This is similar to the practice of the divine law in establishing the causes that entail good or evil actions as being tantamount to those acts themselves. We want to alert you to those things which Allah has made anticipated sources of shirk in the divine law brought by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The one who brought it is that he forbade them. For example, among them is that they used to request assistance يستعينون with their needs في حوائجهم, okay, in their needs, such as in curing the sick and meeting the needs of the poor from other than Allah. What you were talking about exactly. This is about curing the sick and asking for cure. They would make vows to them expecting the accomplishment of their purposes through these vows, and they would recite their names hoping for their blessing. Therefore Allah, may He be exalted, made incumbent upon them that they say during their prayers, you alone do we worship, you alone do we seek for help. Allahu Akbar. So Shah Waliullah here in Hujjatullah al-Baligha is saying that asking others than Allah to heal you, to cure you, is against or is contradicting iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, because Allah put this verse down to address people like this who ask other than Allah for healing.